Everybody to the Hopetown Council meeting for April 21st, 2026. This council meeting is in session. First item of business will be a prayer. Those of you that would please be attentive. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask you to be with us tonight as we gather here for our town council meeting. We ask that this meeting be conducted in harmony and closed in peace. In your name we pray. Amen. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the first item will be approval of claims. I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion from Herb.
I'll second.
I have a second from Ed. Is that right?
That's fine. Good, Ed.
John?
That's fine.
Second from John. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yep.
Ed?
Yep.
John?
Yes.
5-0. Meeting minutes, we have two sets. One for 1/20/2026, that was an executive session. Do I have approval for that?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Yep.
John?
Yes.
5-0. And for 3/17/2026.
I move. A second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion?
Yes, there was an executive session and also a town council meeting on January 20th.
That was included.
Oh, I just heard the motion as the executive session.
Yeah, we had a motion for an executive session, which with an approval, and then I asked for an approval for the town council.
And so the town council meeting, we also had another one on January 20th.
We had an executive session on that meeting as well.
Didn't we already approved that one last month?
The January has not been approved yet, so there was a January executive session and a January regular council meeting, and then also the March council meeting. So there's 3 sets of minutes altogether.
Okay.
Okay.
It only lists 2 on here.
The revised agenda has the.
I have the other one.
Oh, the revi, yeah.
So the
That
motion
one,
should
this
be
one, and
for
this
the
one.
town council meeting minutes for January 20th and 3/17.
Okay.
John's got mine over here where you can look at it.
So revise the motion for January 20th and 3/17. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion from John. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Ed. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Yeah.
John?
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That was hard.
Sorry.
Okay, old business. Goshen Meadows, Tony Nichols.
So lawyers has kind of been making hay here recently. They've done pretty good. They've got the force main across the farmer's field down to State Road 9. They jumped over, and they're not doing the bore under State Road 9 just yet. They want to get behind Majors and Napa, and I think they've got an old force main as of the other day. They'll come back and have to do the bore under State Road 9 and the bore under 600 North, and also set some ARVs, air release valves, in the farmer's field and kind of along the force main all the way. So they're doing pretty good. They are a little bit behind schedule. So not this month, but probably next month, they're going to ask for a 2-week extension from May 1st for substantial completion to May 15th. In talking with Gary, they promised Gary that they'd be out of this field by the end of April, which they're going to make. But just with the kind of the weather delays, and then they kind of had some delays with their equipment, if you remember that one time. They are about 2 weeks behind. So I want to let you know that probably at the next meeting we'll have they'll ask for a 2-week extension, which I don't think it's going to affect the Okra schedule. We're well ahead of the Okra schedule on that as well. At that time as well, we'll probably have some adds and deducts. There'll probably be about a wash on some things that are coming out of the contract that we didn't use because they directional drilled everything. And we may have to add like 1 or 2 air release valves just because of missing some utilities that we didn't expect to encounter. I'll probably bring that next month as well. So I just want to kind of give you a heads up. Other than that, they've been doing pretty good. Once they got started and got their machine fixed, they pulled quite a bit of pipe here this last month. Any questions?
How's that going to affect Mr. Dodd's planning?
He told, is it Casey? Who's the Evan? Yeah. As long as they were out by the end of April, he's fine, and they plan on being out by the end of April. They're in good shape right now. They've got to set a few air release valves and do the bore under State Road 9, but they can actually do that from the other side of State Road 9. And so, luckily, Evan, who's the superintendent for lawyers, knows Gary pretty well. I think they go to church together, so they're in pretty good contact with each other, and they promised to be out of his way, and they shouldn't need it. So, yeah.
Which I think that's a legitimate concern.
It is. We knew going into it that, hey, we just want to be out of Gary's way. We don't want to interfere with him planting.
Because that's his livelihood.
It is. Yep. Yep. And they've been communicating really good because the air release valves normally go set over the force main. We designed them to be offset, so it's a little closer to the fence row. So we're trying not to interfere with his planting as least as possible, basically. So we've got them offset towards the fence row. That way he can plant as much as he can, kind of like what he's doing now.
How will those be identified?
Yeah.
So they're gonna. This has been a conversation for a couple months now. They're gonna put up utility markers. So they talked to Gary, and I said, "Do you want tall flags? What do you want?" If it was me, when you got corn in the field, I think he'd want something a little bit taller. But Gary was fine with just the utility markers, and he knows where they're at. They'll be in almost sitting in that fence row. But because they are a concrete structure, they'll look like a small manhole because that valve is in a concrete structure. And so we worked with Gary and said, "Hey, what do you want? We'll get you what you want." And I think it's what he settled upon.
Okay.
So yeah, we kind of left it to him, saying, "Tell us what you want, and we'll do it for you." He's been nice to the town, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Good call.
How many feet offset are the air release valves from the pipe itself?
We're, I think, anywhere from 10 to 20 feet, depending on where they're at. You can't go much more than that because that air's got to be able to get out of that line. It basically lets the air, any trapped air in the line, and you'll get air in that line. It lets the air out, but not any sewage out. It looks like a toilet float. Because if you get too much air in the line, it'll airlock your pumps. You won't be able to pump past it. So it's just something you have to do in law enforcement, especially when you're going up and down. I know you don't have too many hills, but you do get some high spots, and that's where the air release valve go. So you get that air out of the line.
So once they get across the road and everything and get down to the system, how much longer after that will it take them to hook up? And get
Just a couple of weeks. They'll have it and the stuff at the treatment plant done. They've exposed the existing force main, so they're just kind of gearing up to make that final connection once everything's in place. They've got a pressure test this new force main, and they plan to do it all in one shot. It'll take a couple of days to fill up that force main because they'll have to do it either out of a truck or hydrant. So it'll take a little bit for them to fill it up, and they got to get all the air out of it, and they'll pressurize it to about 100 psi, and they'll have to hold it for 2 hours to make sure nothing's leaking. The pressure won't see 100 psi. The pressure on the pumps is only about 50, maybe if that. But we always pressure test to a high pressure just to make sure we don't have any leaks. Shouldn't, because this is all fused pipe. So it'll take them a couple of days to get that main tested. And if once it passes, then they can make their plans to do that final connection, which basically just they'll shut the pump station down, have all the equipment there and parts there, cut that old force main, and then tie it all in together. And at that point, we'll be able to pump it directly to the plant. So, yeah, not a whole lot left. Just obviously some coordination to get everything switched over.
Okay. On the pay app,
Yep. So they've submitted a payout this month. If you remember, they didn't submit one last month. So the payout this month, the amount due from the town is $339,068.76. If you remember right, you paid them late last year $23,452.92 from the ARPA funds, so that's already taken out of that. And that also includes the town's holding retainage of $11,210.87. So I would recommend approval of paying lawyers $339,068.76. They're about, with this payout, they're about 60%. They're claiming 60% done.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I have a motion from, Tony.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I have a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
I have a second from Shannon. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Yep.
John?
Yes.
5-0.
I'll drop it up to you, Diane, when I get done. Thanks.
Okay, owner occupied rehab.
Good evening. Just a quick update on the program. So we have 6 homes that have been inspected. Those are in the environmental review process. DNR just has to look over them to make sure we're not proposing to destroy any historic value on these homes. Our inspector has an additional 10 homes that he's working on scheduling inspections on. Probably over the next couple of weeks. He only has about 5 radon systems, so he has to cycle those through, but those homeowners are being contacted. Our hope is to group the 6 that are done with those 10 and send those out to bid probably mid-May if everything works okay. So we'll have an advertisement in the paper and reach out to some of the contractors that have worked with me through these programs over the years. But if you have any recommendations of any that you want us to add to the list too, I'd be happy to take those. So that's just a quick update on Cova Water.
Okay.
Anything else for Victoria? Okay, BSCC completion.
So I talked, I think it was last month I came and we had the signage approved to complete the Building Socially Connected grant with the sidewalks and signage. So at this time, Diane asked that we come and talk about kind of the process. It is a little bit of a different grant. It's not a federal grant, it's a state funded grant. So it is actually reimbursable. So we've had 1 draw so far. So to do your first draw, you have to prove that you've spent half of your project costs. And then to do the second and the final one, you have to show that you've spent the remainder of your project cost. So we are there. So for signage, there's a $930 invoice. And then for the concrete contractor, his final payment would be $20,287.50. So those would just need to be paid. We'd have to have proof of the check payment, and then we can request the final grant funds.
That'll get submitted to Okra, and then they will send us a check, and we'll be done.
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion from John. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Ed. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Yep.
John?
Yes.
5-0.
Thank you.
All right. Jason Mack.
So last month's council meeting, I was asked to take a look at the mulch back at Norman Park. We did go back there, we took a look at it, we turned it over. and there's still a lot of life left in it. This is something that we could probably put off till next year or the year after. I did go ahead and get a quote for adding mulch into it if you decided tonight that you wanted to. The quote is for $2,490 for 60 yard of mulch to go in. Like I said, we can get a few more, we can get probably next year out of it as well as this year. But if it's something that the council would like to go ahead and do, let me know, and we can kind of get the ball rolling to get that in and get it done. So basically just asking for direction from the council. Do you want to go ahead and proceed with it for this year? Or is this something that we handle at a later time?
I move that we wait.
Yeah, I think we should just table it.
Yeah, we usually mulch pretty heavily around Heritage Days and at that, I think if we need mulch at that time, additional, my perception is we'd look at it then, and what's the council's thoughts?
And this quote was just for Norman Park. It wasn't for the Square Park.
I understand that.
Okay.
I say postpone.
Table,
Yeah. We can still get another year to 2 years of life out of what, if it just needed to be turned over, then
Yeah.
that's what we need to do. I
The
mean,
only thing it suffers from right now is just where it compacts, where there's not hardly any use on it to help break it loose and keep it loose.
I could understand if it was up at the park here at the square, which gets used way more heavily than Norman Park. So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
okay.
Thanks for checking into that.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
thanks, Jason. Okay, Goshen Meadows, Phase 2, Lot 110. Jeff Beck.
Jason asked me to look into this matter when he received a notice of intent to seek a tax sale deed about a week or so ago. So I tried to jump into it and figure out what the history of this is. We're talking about the property located at 169 South Hitchcock Court. And it looks like this has been an issue maybe for the council since about 2021, because at that point a suit was filed to collect on violations, and you guys got a judgment of $24,725 and court costs of $163. The date of that judgment was September 30, 2022. So at some point thereafter, a foreclosure, so those became liens. When you get a judgment, it becomes a lien against the people that own the property. And in this case, it became a lien. And then a foreclosure of those liens was started in February of 24, and it hasn't concluded yet. In the interim, after the foreclosure was filed, the county put it up for tax sale, and it was purchased in October of 25 at tax sale. And so the notice that Jason received was basically the taxpayer saying, or the tax purchaser saying, hey, if nobody redeems this from me, I'm going to get the deed to the property. And I think it's October 25th, 2026. And the problem with that is if he gets that deed, then the lien that you all have won't be paid. Everybody thinks anytime a property is sold, all liens get paid. That is absolutely true 100% of the time, except when it's a tax sale. So maybe 99.9% of the time. So the question now is, what do you all want to do about those liens? Because at this point, they're in jeopardy of not being paid. Just for disclosure of as much information as I've been able to gather at this point, with the statutory interest of 8% on your judgment, plus the court costs, you're looking at $31,922.26 as a lien on that property if it were to be sold outside of the tax sale realm. Because it was sold at tax sale, that person would need to be added to the foreclosure suit, just because he now has it, or it's an entity. The entity now has an interest, and to pay off that interest, because they now are in first place, would be about $5,700, depending on when this would happen. So they're going to get the first this tax sale buyer will get the first $5,700 roughly of any sheriff's sale that would happen at the conclusion of the foreclosure suit that's already on file. So Jason wanted me to talk to you guys about that, and what we can do is I can add this tax sale buyer to the suit. I would also want to do a title search again, because it's been 2 years since it was filed. Make sure there aren't any other liens out there, because we would need to add those people too. And then file a quick summary judgment motion, get an order of foreclosure, get it to the sheriff's sale. Hopefully we have somebody come in and buy it at above our lien amount, and then you would be paid. That would be the ideal situation. That's, again, I've had this for about a week. That's as much information as I have right now. But I guess what I'm asking for is, with adding the people that we need to add, because I think it's worth going after the money if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
What's the pleasure of the council?
Yeah, we need to do
We
that.
need to go.
If we have any hope of getting paid, that's the route we're gonna have to go. Other than that, you might as well just say, thanks a lot.
So for Jeff to do that title search, it's $175, is that right?
It's $175 for the title search. For me to do the work that would need to be done, you never can predict what other people are going to do in the lawsuit that could drag it out or cause prices to go up, but it could not exceed $2,000 to get to it. It shouldn't come close to that, but if something goes haywire, it could be in that realm. So that's another cost.
I think we need to proceed.
Yeah, I move that we move forward with your suggestion.
It's still less than 10% of what we're attempting to
It's still worth it.
collect on, so. Yeah.
So we need to proceed with,
Yeah, I'll make a motion for Jeff to proceed with filing.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a proper second. Do I have any additional discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
5-0.
Thanks for checking into that.
Thank you, sir.
This has been a thorn in our side for a long time.
Yeah.
We got about 3 more.
Okay, new business. Diane Burton. Speak into the microphone.
Okay. So I would like to request your approval to recodify our ordinances. So the last update we did was in 2014. This will be with American Legal Publishing. The cost is $6,650. This price includes 5 complete new hard copies and inserts for all of the binders that we already have. So sometimes it can be a little pricey, but this is doing a big update for us. So I think in my opinion, it's money well spent.
It's a 12-year update, right?
Yeah, right. Right. And then, well, I'll get back to that. I also want to let you know about another, I believe a new feature, at least prior to 2014. Maybe it's not that new. They also have a website option. where we can link to their publisher's online library. So what they would do is they would put their link on our website, and then when people are wanting to look up an ordinance, they would go to that link, and so they host it, basically. So there is a cost to that. The initial cost is $695, and it's an annual fee of $595. It's kind of cool because with the way there's so many ways they can search. It's pretty current, and you put in one word, and it'll let you print sections. And but there is another option if we want to go a less expensive route, actually a free route. They will, like last time, they can also provide us with the CD, part of the package deal, and we can just load the CD on the website like we did the last time. It just with the other. Every year I can submit them new ordinances, and they can keep it more up to date. So
What's easier for you?
I don't know if one's really any different than the other as far as what I'm concerned. It's whether we want to put it on there one time with the CD or let it be an annual $600 fee to have easier lookup access for the residents and actually us as well. And then I also wanted to kind of like jump through all of it, but to see how often you guys would like to update our ordinances. I kind of initially, my plan was every 2 years. So if we do updates every 2 years, then what they will do is they'll take our ordinances, and it's 19 per page because it has to fit into this section, and then every page thereafter has to be renumbered. So it's not as like, one ordinance, $20, it's not that simple because they'll have to update every page wherever that fits in the ordinance book, every page thereafter. But it will not be what we're paying this time. So I kind of wanted your input on that and see if we can get an approval to get this to move forward. Sounds like it's going to be like more toward the end of the year before hopefully it won't be that long, but that's what they said in the contract before they would actually get it all complete for us. So is there any, I'm certainly not the expert, but is there any questions on that? They are really nice binders, very well put together. American Legal Publishing is very well known. They take care of Columbus and Fulton County and Edinburgh and surrounding areas, big cities. There are a lot of attorneys on staff, and I think they're very thorough in what they do.
Right now, especially with Austin coming in, our ordinances are pretty hard to look up.
Yeah.
And it's time that we do something about modifying our ordinances, all in one book, having them all. I've been here 4 years, and I think we've done 6 or 8 major ordinance changes in that time, and they're hard to find on our website. If I didn't have them on my computer, I don't know that they would be easy to look up.
So with the fee that you pay annually, is there a limit to how many times if you changed an ordinance that you can make revisions and they can?
I asked him, and he said not really. Typically, they towns and cities will do it once a year.
Okay. And then you're talking
And then it was
every
like-
2 years to actually physically go and have them print new hard copies.
And then he said so in 2 years when we approach this topic again, then I can get with him. He'll give me a quote, so I can come back to you with a quote on what it will cost for the 2-year update.
They give you any kind of idea?
It's $19 a page. So
$19 a page?
Huh?
$19?
Correct.
Okay.
But it's like one ordinance is going to affect several pages after that ordinance. So it's not going to be just $19 or if you have a 2-page ordinance, it's not going to be just the $38. It's going to be more because you're going to have to renumber the pages that follow that ordinance in that section.
So that would be like chapter 10 is a lot of building and zoning ordinances. essentially be most of a chapter. So let's
But it's
say-
just that section that would have to be revised, right?
say
Correct.
20 to 30 pages times $20 is a lot of money.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
$600.
$500 to $600.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys like
What's up?
the idea of the website, we could always give it a try. And I mean, I'm sure they'll provide us with the CD too. We can give it a try, and if it's something we feel like we don't want to continue.
I like the idea of a website,
Mm-hmm.
especially since you can do a link, because ironically, that was going to be a topic of discussion that I was going to bring up later, is our town's website.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty sad,
Mm-hmm.
and it needs some serious work. This was going to be one topic, is about our ordinances. So,
Yeah, and sometimes I will say, I'm sure Jason can attest with this, that it's kind of hard to, when you're looking up something in an ordinance book, it's kind of hard to find what you're looking for sometimes. So to be able to go in and do a search, by a topic or whatever, would be a nice feature for all of us.
I think anything we can do to simplify our process is going to be to our benefit.
Just for a year.
right, and that's the thing. So we can try it. If we don't like it, we can go to the free version. But I think it would be better to make it more accessible for the townspeople to be able to look up an ordinance if you want to look something up. Because right now it is hard. I mean, to Jason's point, unless you specifically know really where to go to try to find it, even then it's still like an Easter egg hunt.
I know.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve for the update for the hard copies and to do the online option for the first year, and also implement that this be revisited every 2 years.
I have a motion.
I'll second it.
I have a second. I have a proper second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Was that a soft yes or
It's a soft yes.
Okay.
We'll take it.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
John?
Yeah.
Yes. Hard yes.
Thank you. So I believe he'll actually do, he said in his verbiage that he'll do an ordinance, so I'll bring that back to you, but I will have him get started on everything. Thank you.
Okay. Next item. Christina Bain.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm Christina Bain, and this is my husband, Adam Bain. So we saw the opportunity that Jessica had posted the old Oasis location for rent. So we kind of put our heads together and came up with an opportunity that we feel like this community is kind of missing, which would be more of a community-based area that could serve coffee, dirty sodas, breakfast items. We're still kind of working on like lunch and dinner. I substitute teach at the school part-time, so I've really got to work with the school, talk with the kids, and just find out that there's really not a spot for people to kind of swing in and grab something, or if their kids are, going for practice, there's really nowhere to sit and kind of just wait. Or for kids that are a little too old for the playground to be able to hop in and have a positive area and positive influence for them, their families, or their people as well. Even passerbys coming through Shelbyville, there's thousands of people coming through. We've did some research with it. we know some people don't like coffee, so along with the espressos, the lattes, and stuff like that, for people that don't know what dirty sodas are, teenagers, that's a big craze right now. And keeping up with the kids is quite a challenge sometimes because they are very fast at changing what's cool. So dirty sodas are adding cream, different flavors, and things like that. Adding a little bit of energy, whether it's green tea or some kids are into drinking energy drinks right now, or people that just like tea. We'll also have drip coffee for older people in the community that just want to come in and sit. Our big goal is we would like to have 2 seats right outside where the 2 big windows are. Just a 2-seater, have 2 people here in that window, 2 people right there. So they can sit there, see people from the park, and just kind of get together and talk. Come inside, we'll have seating there. We'll also have a charging bar in the back for the kids with bar stools. And then we're also, we talked with Jessica about putting up just a small fence and making seating in the back as well. So then we would have more open opportunity for people if they're just taking a walk and want to sit down and grab something and waste a little bit of time, or if they just want to come and hang out. The other way that we want to make this community driven is asking the community, doing a soft open, saying, hey, what are things that you guys do and do not like about this? What is something that we can add? Whether it's, a trivia night or a faith-based night for people that they can rent out the area, or even just for an area for somebody to come in and feel more welcomed and they're just lonely at home. Just anything to make it feel like we're an extra space, a positive space. Other things that we were thinking is having games as well, kind of posted up to the side. So if family want to come in, or even if people want to come play checkers or things in those regards. So far, we have worked with the health department to get our first steps in regards to permit. So showing them kind of what is our layout, what would we like to serve, and kind of what we are wanting machine-wise. So they'll be coming at some point to kind of make sure that that's appropriate. We're also going to be sending it into building and zoning and working with Jason as well, just to make sure that everything's appropriate and to code. We want it to be able to, as well, we're kind of still working this is kind of a rough, but make it an option for at least 2 spots for a curbside service. I did talk with Jason about this. Because 9 is with the state, I will have to work with them on having maybe just 1 designated spot, if possible, for curbside, where they can just pull up or run something out to them, and possibly 1 in the back where the parking is over by El Jefe and where we would have the fencing. So that's just kind of a rough option, but we're still kind of working on the logistics in that aspect. Our other goal is opening mid-July to early August, as long as permits go well and everything keeps flowing as well.
Hours of operation?
We're thinking probably about 6:30 to 7-ish at night, but I did talk with Coach Ship in regards to like post-game nights. We would do more so like extended, like they have talked with El Jefe, offering specials like maybe chicken fingers and fries for the kids or parents that don't want to go home and cook, having opportunities in those regards. We are kind of working on the rough draft of the hours because that is a long time to be open. But I know one big complaint that I've heard from the community is there's nothing past 2 o'clock other than El Jefe that serves food or really has any kind of welcoming atmosphere for them to be able to sit that's inside. So.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Christina?
Are you planning on extending the footprint of the building?
As of right now, no.
Sounds like you're awful busy. You're going to be awful busy in there.
Yeah, we're not sure. We were kind of thinking that as well. That's why we were thinking that the outside would be an extra opportunity for us. And then I know that, you know, they have outside seating over at the park. People are probably going to be walking back and forth in those regards as well. I guess we were kind of just going to see how this area goes, and if it was something that ends up going bigger, then kind of move forward and see if there's any other options or opportunities in the town.
Yeah, I was curious about the outside seating out back, because I know there's lots of cars that park back there for El Jefe.
Yeah, so we would have to discuss with them kind of, hey, we're going to be utilizing this space for customers, and kind of come up with something, because there is a section where it's just where our area is, and then it kind of comes out and it's their area. So we're thinking, okay, hey, could we utilize that space? It's kind of going to be trial and error, I'm sure, of course, especially. But the other opportunity we were looking at with this is, you know, there's business meetings for other people, or even at the schools, where we could have them pick up bagels for Teacher Appreciation Day, or go over there and have somebody of staff or take over the stuff for them to be able to make their own dirty sodas, or have, you know, different coffees for different opportunities. So we're kind of working out different options that we could have.
Like catering?
Possibly so, yes. So I know we have kind of a big mind, and
It's a lot happening.
Yeah,
It's a lot
trying to tackle a
happening.
lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Object is, you know, start small and
Yeah.
kind of work our way there, right?
Especially
See how it goes.
especially with our menu, you know, obviously we're not going to start very huge with that. We want to make sure that we can be productive, as in being fast, because that's the world now. You know, it's like, I want it, I want to go. So that's really, truly, you know, just trying to reach out to the public in that regards. Maybe even trying to find a way that we can talk with the community, even if we have like a once a month, or, you know, couple times a year, bring something together and say, hey, if you guys have any thoughts or feelings, let's work as a group and find something to make this excel, because we want to be kind of like our saying, one of our sayings we're hoping is locally brewed, community driven, because we want this to be a success, and we know that there's been a lot of hardships and, you know, things that have made it hard to have something successful here, and we want to make sure that we make it a successful thing.
So how are you thinking of staffing?
Right now, in the first 2 years, we have a huge family, so we're thinking of making it family-based at this point,
Okay.
and then work from there.
Because that's generally where a lot, especially around here, people run into the issue of finding people to work.
Yeah, and I was talking to a lady here in town, and she said, you know, that is one of the hardest things, is keeping staff, and you know, so we are ready to understand that burden, and that we'll have to pick up the pace on that one. But so
Yeah, you'll get a lot of people that are interested. Everybody wants to work until it's time to work.
yes, yeah, and put in the effort.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree.
This is exciting for the town of Hope.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
I'm excited about having a latte in the morning.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we're just, and that's why I said this is especially why I want it to be community driven, is because I don't want to end up like some of the other places where they have had a lot of hardships. And, you know, what if they would have been able to just get some business advice from somebody that was willing to give it freely, or somebody had a better idea than what we did, you know? So I think being open-minded and understanding, and I think that'll give us a bigger step ahead.
And are you thinking of being open every day of the week, or
We're going to have
just
one
limited
day.
days?
I think we're going to at least have one day off.
Yeah.
So we're thinking Sundays, so.
Jessica, what do you think?
I think it's fabulous.
Great.
I'm super excited to have another collection. For lunch and breakfast.
It just happens to be next door to you.
Right.
Well,
Doesn't
hopefully
matter.
we don't get her in trouble. We are also in the works trying to think of an honor system as well. Like, if you get so many drinks, get one free, or during certain hours, if you like black drip coffee, you know, if you buy one, the rest you have free refills from 10 to 12, or, you know, something in those regards. So we're working on little perks and exciting things for people
Okay.
that could make it that could make it a little bit more enticing as well, because I mean, drinks are expensive.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you have a little bit of incentive, kind of like gas stations and, you know, other places, get your points, you get a free drink or things like that. So But those are just the little things we're getting in the works, and we'll definitely take any advice given. So
We wanted to bring up too, on Friday, we're actually meeting with the sign contractor. We were curious, is there a list of standards for Hope? I know we kind of want to keep Hope historic. I didn't know if there was a standard document that highlighted what they wrote for signage.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can email that to you, Christina.
Okay.
This week.
And
When
was
are
that,
you meeting?
by Friday if you can.
Okay.
That, you know, that building, it's, when you're driving up down the highway, it's very hard to see
Uh-huh.
that building. So we gotta be really strategic about how we do the signage as well. Because, you know, we were thinking about, I know, Student Funds of Hope has a nice kind of perpendicular sign to the building.
Yeah, I like
Kinda-
that.
But I noticed that row of buildings that's parallel with 9, there's no signage that sticks out. So I wondered if that was okay on that side of town there, on the square.
That's historically accurate, that's how the
Okay.
signage should be.
As long as it's not lighted, right? Okay.
I mean, your building, I don't think it was built until the sixties because the building that was there originally burned. So that's, you kind of got the modern sign up top, but the buildings that come on the side. The
Yeah.
signs that come on the side.
Because we did notice that it was lighted, and we were like, oh, because I know somebody that's over Student Funds of Hope, and I talked to a couple of them that work there, and they were like, oh, you know, just be careful on your signage, you know, because of the historic aspect of it. Make sure you have that in detail. You don't want to have to go backtrack on anything. But we do think that having the sign up there and then having one from where you're walking on the sidewalk, you can be like, oh yeah, right here, we can go over here and grab something to drink. We feel like that would be, you know, good for the naked eye. Catch it.
Okay, Christina, thank you so much for
Yes.
coming in.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Matt Lee?
Matt's unable to be here tonight. He called me this afternoon to ask if I would ask for permission to use the square on July 25th for Thunder on the Square. Thunder on the Square is from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. He wants to do it essentially the same way as last year. Had the inside lanes on Jackson, Washington, and Harrison closed off. So traffic had the ability to go around the square. This is all donations. All of the donations are going back to the Volunteer Hope Fire Department. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. The Hope Volunteer Fire Department. And they will be there providing food, and he's hoping that he can get a few other businesses there to show support for Thunder on the Square. And looks like he is he has his insurance, and or he will have his insurance prior to the event. Any thoughts?
This is a non-alcohol.
No alcohol.
Okay. Motorcycle, no alcohol.
Motorcycle, no alcohol.
I don't think Man's Harley is going to be there.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the new name for Man's Harley is.
Twisted Torch.
Twisted Torch.
Yes.
He's hoping he can get them to be here as well. And he'll have the Christian Motorcycle Association here, the Bartholomew County chapter as well. And two bands, he's thinking Night Owl Country Band will be playing on the bandstand, as well as an undetermined band. But I don't know what band he's looking at currently.
Okay. We have a motion.
I'm assuming the calendar is open that weekend.
They are until then.
Matt, no issues with, all right.
They act
Had
open.
issues last time.
Yeah, I didn't figure so, but it's fair. I double check.
It was fun last time.
Yeah.
There was a thunderstorm that went through last year, and it poured down rain for about 5 minutes, and then it was a great night.
Thunderstorm for Thunder on the Square.
That's right.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve.
I've got a motion.
I'll second.
Motion from Herb. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
John?
Yes.
I have a second from John. Have any discussion? Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yeah.
Ed?
Yeah.
John?
Yes.
5-0.
Thanks, council.
Jessica Deckard.
Hello. I am here on behalf of the Yellow Trail Museum seeking permission to host our annual Old Fashioned Independence Day. The date this year is set for June 26th, would be about from 5 to 8. And we would, of course, have to have Jackson Street blocked off again for people to watch the fireworks and then to keep traffic from coming through. We have submitted a letter to the county commissioners, but we haven't heard back yet, but I don't foresee any issues there. I don't think we ever have any issues.
What was your name again?
June 26th.
Is that a good date? That's an open date. Is that your motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any discussion? Hearing none. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Abstain.
John?
Yes.
Abstain?
Yeah,
4-0.
because I've got connections with the museum.
You got connections? 4-0.
Well, I got acquaintances. How about that? Will that work?
All right, you're on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Jason?
So I know this is short notice. Town cleanup day is this coming Saturday, and usually it's done by Main Street. And this year, to make it happen, I decided that I would do it through the town. So I have the FFA involved. 6 or so young students from the FFA are going to be here to assist, as well as several other people are going to be in attendance. We are not going to drive around this year and pick up goods from people's homes. It's just too much, too quickly to do. I apologize about the short notice. But anyway, tonight I'm asking for permission to pay for the dumpsters from the town. And it looks like Waste Management is not available to deliver dumpsters. So they will deliver dumpsters at no charge for our fall cleanup day. They only do once a year, but it was too short notice for them to do. And so I called Best Way, and Best Way was far cheaper than what Waste Management charged us the second time last year. Best guess is between $1,000 and $1,400 for the 2 dumpsters, 2 30-yard dumpsters. So I'm asking for permission to pay the Best Way bill of up to $1,400 for the town cleanup day.
Why is this so? Do they normally do it in April?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
why we're
it's
like.
normally
Yeah, we
in
normally do
April.
it twice a year.
Oh, we can do it twice a year, but what do we gotta do it like in 4 days? Like, I know, I'm just saying, like, do we have enough time? Like, does the residents really, are they gonna know?
It's been out for about a week or so now. This flyer I put out on Friday. And so, I mean, I've gotten a lot of phone calls, and
Yeah.
it's seems to be like a lot of people going to come dump things.
Got a lot of it needs
I'll
to be
make the
done.
motion to
Mhm.
approve for the rental of dumpsters at a max of 1,400.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a proper second. Do I have any discussion?
Is this something we need to maintain from now on, though? Like the April and the October,
Yes.
whatever it is?
Yes,
Okay.
this will be a town. I'll see in the future if the town can maybe pair up with someone. Windrose Health has donated a gift card for waters and sodas for our people that will be in attendance to help with this, but maybe they can be a bigger partner in the fall with us.
Okay.
Yeah, so again, I apologize about the such short
Maybe by
notice. I
next
didn't
year
know
we'll
anything
have a
about
new
it
Main Street
until
route.
after town council meeting last year or last month.
Okay, I have a motion and a proper second. Shannon?
Yes.
Herb?
Yes.
Ed?
Yep.
John?
Yes.
5-0.
Thank you.
Okay, next item. Building and zoning administrator.
Yeah, last but not least, we have a new building and zoning administrator. His name is Austin Bruner. Austin, if you'd like to come up and introduce yourself, please
The
do.
whole thing.
Austin's been doing a good job. He started on Friday of last week, and he's gonna get this town cleaned up for us.
He's got his hands full.
Hi, so my name's Austin. I know some of you, not all of you. Start off, I've lived here since I moved back here when I was. So I've been a lifelong resident. My mom is from here. I have a bunch of family from here. Like Jason said, I spent last Friday going around town with Matt. Came back, delivered some letters. So I've already got a pretty good idea from Jason of what all is going to be expected of me. Currently, like you said, I just started, so I'm still trying to work with my full-time job to coordinate an exact schedule of what days and what hours I can set aside every week to come here whenever they are still going to be at the same time, that we can all work together. But yeah, like I said, so is there anyone have any questions for me?
Mm-mm. Glad to have you.
Thank you.
We're excited to have you, Austin. We're hoping you stay
Short and
more
sweet.
longer than 6 weeks.
I can do that.
Are set pretty low.
How did you feel about like the drive around? Like, do you feel like overwhelmed, or do you feel like you
No.
got okay?
No, I wouldn't say it's overwhelmed. Like,
Didn't get lost.
no, I definitely didn't get lost. Yeah, no.
We'll give him a map.
I mean, I took you to some good houses. You did.
Yeah.
But, I mean, most of Hope is fine. It's
Mhm.
for the most part. You just have a few that, no matter from
There's
what,
always
what
a
I've heard
few,
from them,
right.
is going through our files and that kind of stuff. It seems like most of the people that you have to worry about have been people that we've had to worry about for a while
You'll
now.
find repeat offenders.
Right. Yeah.
There's not really a whole lot of new ones that come in, so it's more so just kind of repeating what people have been doing already. So it's nothing that's super overwhelming or too challenging with it.
Good.
All right, thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
Anything else need to come before the council before I close?
Yeah, I think we need to comment that they've been out tagging cars,
Mm.
and there's a whole pile up here, so
I didn't even see
I
that.
think Matt's got out and stirred them up.
Let me see that.
Saw that.
How many cars did you tag?
I think my final count was 23 this year.
23?
For the spring tagging. I'll tag again in September.
Is that about what you tagged before? or-
Oh, we've tagged anywhere from 40 to 20.
So this is not quite as bad as
No.
what? Yeah.
I have an item.
Okay.
I kind of touched on it earlier, but our town's website.
That's awful.
Yeah, we've got to do something. It's looking pretty bad. There's lots of stuff that hasn't been updated. Boards, committees, contact information for
Anybody.
employees of the town. We've got pictures of employees that aren't even here anymore. There's an advertisement running for Heritage Days of 2022 running on it. I think we need to take a little bit better pride.
Who's over that?
I have no idea who is over it now.
Evidently nobody.
I think that's the problem. Is nobody. It's kind of
Mr. Anonymous.
Or whoever.
Well, it's kind of
Matt,
slipped
is
through the
that-
cracks.
You got anything to do with that?
I know, it's.
There's
Is Tom still doing anything? Tom Cuneo hosts it. And, that's about all that really ever gets done, other than we post agendas on it and, executive session.
Yeah, I mean, there's this lots of, and we should utilize it as a tool for our people.
Mm-hmm.
That's a place where we can, should be one of our main points of communication.
Support the community.
Yeah, for the whole community, especially, I've looked at other communities. I've looked at Versailles, Edinburgh, Batesville, even larger communities, Columbus, Seymour, Greensburg. Still, even communities our size, their websites look above and beyond better than what ours do. I think we can do a better job, but
I mean, even if we took down all the outdated stuff, it would be better than
just get some stuff updated. I would personally like to see there should be a link to like the school's website there. Stuff that
community connection.
The museum and everybody else ought to be linked.
Yeah,
to it.
there's businesses on there. It lists 2 businesses. If we're going to have the information there and we're going to run a town website, I think we should. If you're going to do it right. And
There might be some stuff that I can fix on there, but a lot of it is over my skill set.
And I can help with that stuff too. I'm pretty versed in being able to do that stuff, but I just think we need
In
to.
other words, you want to volunteer.
I'll volunteer. That's fine with me.
It's
I'm
what it
just
needs-
saying we need.
It just needs to be.
It needs to
We
be done.
need to do something with it. Yeah.
It has to have somebody in charge.
Yeah.
I think, too, if you, send information to Tom Cuneo, he'll do the inputting.
Yeah.
Church that he's very reasonable. But he's done that with other things for us, so he could physically
Yeah.
do the entering.
Okay.
Some of it's kind of tricky to navigate.
Rant over.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anybody pinned down that are you gonna investigate that?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Anything else before we conclude our? Yes.
Question. When are we going to work on Union Street?
Union Street.
From
The
seminary to
sawmill,
South.
That's South Street.
the road that we put
Get on the internet,
pieces in.
see how to get to our house or Shannon's house. It takes you right up through there, and it's rough as a cow.
It is, and
Years ago, we
Mm-hmm.
said we was gonna try to get something done. and nothing
We did. We
was
put all the millings
Well,
in there that we could
millings
get.
down, But then the kids gets on them millings, and about 2 kids up through there, and they're shocked. And there's a drain that goes across it, which of course is out of a big place. I was just wondering when we was gonna get back on.
well, it's great that you asked because, see, we've got an area of property up there who we don't know what the owners of that property are going to do. So we hate to build a street there when we don't know what they're going to build and what their infrastructure needs are going to be. So we're waiting. I think, isn't that the thing? We're waiting to see what the millers do with that property
I
before we.
understand that, but I've lived there for a long, long time.
Okay.
And always before, when I'd say something about it, they didn't want to do it because the sawmill was there. They'd cross it. All right, the sawmill's gone, so why ain't we doing something about it? I think we waited enough to get that straight fixed.
There's another problem there too, is who owns the properties on both sides of them and where it's located.
Lawyer, no.
Well, I know, but the road itself has to be Hope's Road. Okay, we can't put a road across Miller's property.
But it is a road.
It's on your road, it's Union Street.
It's not part of the property. It's not owned by the town of Hope. That's what I've been told.
That street's been in there since, I know 1955.
Yeah.
You say the town don't own that
Jason?
street?
So I've looked into this extensively, and I've had Strand do an estimate on it. If we were to build a proper road there, we would have to buy right of way from the sawmill because it's not officially wide enough to make a road. We have to have, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, I know the rest of Union Street is 50 feet.
Yeah, it's like half of that, I think. For some reason,
Yeah.
it's like almost like 20 or 25.
Yeah, so we have 50 feet of right of way along Union Street where it's paved. And if we were to do the same thing, we would have to buy 50 feet of right of way from the log yard. And for us to buy that and then build a proper road with gravel and the way that roads are built, I believe it was a couple years ago, it was about $250,000 to build that one little section of road. And at the time, in our opinion, it was not worth spending $250,000 on a road that goes one block.
Because
That's not the answer that you want, I know.
It's that way. I'll find a way to be.
We've done what we have been able to do by laying millings down and packing it down the best we could. And in my opinion, it's completed. And we will have Jason go over there and fill in the potholes. And unless you guys think otherwise, I feel like Union Street now is as good as we can make it as far as a road goes.
Has it ever been a paved street?
Not that I'm aware of.
Yes, it has.
It did?
I went to the Yellow Trail Museum and tried to find that information, and all of the pictures and all of the information I could find, there's no pictures or anything about it being paved. Now, Mr. Caldwell says that it has been paved, and I don't discredit that. I just can't find any pictures of what Union Street looked like when it was paved.
There's always, I'm 83 years old and I've lived in this part of town, through this part of town all of my life. And it was always just a gully wash through there because they had grain bins set there from the government.
Oh, I forgot about those.
For lots of years.
On that side.
Mm-hmm. And they were on the south side of the track.
Yes.
And there was a coal dump there right beside it.
Right. On the same, where that plot is, on the east side, where the railroad tracks run, there was a place under the tracks there that the coal yard, which was on Elm Street, would come up there and load it, take it up to the coal yard on Elm Street. And it was paved.
Okay.
Well,
My-
I got no proof, but I've been there
Well-
since 55. And it has been.
I'm not going to argue because I don't know.
Uh-uh.
I don't know. I just know that I remember being a mud hole because I loaded corn out of those grain bins.
I will say that whenever we entertain this conversation, it's not like we don't want to do this. You know what I mean? We had projects that were going to just take us, like we had this hyper focus on our water management system that needed to be revamped and safer sidewalks, and we didn't have in the budget. Like it is an undertaking to
It's a
do
huge
that.
budget item.
So it's not that we don't want to do it. We got to figure out how to make it work.
I look at it this way. When Mr. Robertson had his house on fire down there, they couldn't even get down that street with a fire truck because it was too rough and bumpy and whatever it was. So there's his house burnt to the ground.
They haven't did anything to
Do
that
what?
street since the log yard on that part of it. When the Lowe first came, he bought the building, bought where it is on Seminary.
Right.
Then they bought the part across the road. There was a house there and a barn there, that's on the south side. And they bought the property behind it, and they tore that house down. They bought that. Then they bought the one on that side. It was one of the last ones there, besides all the ones on Market Street.
Unfortunately,
What?
we're in a situation where we can't do anything until the property owners decide what they're going to do. And it's a quandary, and I know, and it's not going to be resolved it's not going to be resolved to your satisfaction
It's not a quick fix.
today. And it may be several days before.
Well, it's been 2 years already since we've been trying to do this. So.
Well,
It took us 3 years to get the grant to do the water project and save for that too. So believe me, whenever I check this, it takes way longer.
I'll go see what I can do about it elsewhere.
well, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for having a concern. And I appreciate that you coming in and having a concern. I wish more people in the community would come in and with their concerns. So,
Well, like John was saying, the fire trucks can't get up through there, nothing else, they gotta go one way or the other. If you decide to go out, if you're going down Union Street, wanna go to Lake, you've gotta go up, around that way, or around that way to get to the same road. If you go straight through, like it's supposed to. So, I mean, that's all I'm saying is,
I won't drive on those millings either. I'll go around. I said I won't drive on those millings
I
either.
don't mind driving on, my truck and stuff, I don't like taking the car through there. Because the young guys goes up there and they go across it and just do this. Now you got ruts, and there's a drain on the east side, and water has to run and cuts through about this way across through. So you ain't gonna keep just nothing's on it, it will stay. Between the kids and the water, it ain't gonna do it.
Well, if you got a drain that runs through there, you ain't gonna keep pavement either until you fix the water issue.
That's right.
I mean,
If you put a road in, it needs to be a drain. Of course, stormwater and hope is not something else I'm talking about.
okay. Is there anything else to come before the council? Well, before I close, I'm going to just keep our country in your prayers, and we need to heal our country. A lot of turmoil, a lot of conflict going on, and for those of you that profess and have a belief in God, prayers are appreciated. And with that, I will close this meeting. Thank you.